give me your one bold prediction for next year. Dun dun dun.
China will get worse. It's going to be my
China
prediction.
will get worse.
Wow.
Wow. I actually want to take a quick second while
mine.
Eric thinks of it. Why do you say that?
I think that right now we're in a very interesting time for Chinese esports, which is the streaming competition that we talked about. A lot of these streaming contracts are actually motivating teams to bring big name players in because they'll pay for part of the salary if you get Kakao. It's so exciting, right? So that encourages bringing in people for their personality, whether they're Chinese or Korean or whatever else.
Of course, yeah.
And then of course the streaming contracts also come with you have to stream 80 hours a month or something like that, which if you do the numbers, it's like 2.6 hours a day or something like that. So they're doing their practice and then they're doing their streaming, or maybe they're taking time off from their practice to get their streaming hours in. And initially when the Koreans came, they were super serious and they rubbed off on the Chinese. They're like, we can be serious too. But then after a while, the reverse started happening, and the Koreans are like, oh, we don't really need to listen, do we? Okay, we can just do this.
Is that part of the reason maybe why we've seen some high-profile players? Like we just heard that Faker is not going to go over to China. It was rumored possibly he'd be leaving for more money for a Chinese team. He's going to stay with SK Telecom One. Does that enter into it, or is that not a concern for him?
It varies. I think that Faker's probably getting paid pretty well.
Oh yeah,
but
I'm sure he's doing all right for himself right now. So
I think though, looking at the Koreans who have decided to stay in China or go to China, that you have to be mindful that they're aware that they have short careers, right? And why not go and stream and maybe be less serious? You're gonna get more money. Maybe in the long term, that's better for you because you're not really sure what your future is right now with the current infrastructure. So I think that's fine. It's eventually the streaming bubble is going to burst.
Sure.
And I don't think it's going to be explosive or anything. It's just going to be a slow deflation.
Yeah.
But for a while, I think the competitiveness of Chinese esports in general, I think it's also going to be apparent in Defense of the Ancients 2, might decrease.
Yeah, definitely.
Now it hasn't even been 10 years yet. I mean, obviously there's been Western esports tournaments longer than that, but we're talking big business esports tournaments. It's still a pretty young industry. So there's going to be those issues. I mean, it's situations like this that make the NFL and NBA have locked team spots, right? Or organization spots. You don't see new teams coming and going from the NFL, right? And it's because of this. So I know Riot and other organizations around the world, I'm sure they've talked about it in China, in Korea, about, do we lock these spots? Because on the one hand, esports organizations are extremely volatile. They come and go very, very quickly. So if you lock that spot and suddenly a team collapses completely, well, what do you do then? Then you have to have another tournament to get someone in, and they're sort of, are they permanent when this other team was really close in that thing? So, but if you don't, then you have this situation. So it's a tough question. I mean, I'd like to see organizations, I'd like to see tournaments with locked organization slots, but I don't know if we're quite in the position where we can do that right now.